Hey guys, it's Jeremy with Jeremy Chow Photography here. We're gonna start in about 1 minute. Um, if you're on Google Hangout, there is a little chat box on the side. You might be able to punch in questions, but in order for me to see what I'm doing, I need to minimize everything on my screen. So I won't be able to see your questions until I take a break. And I will take a break probably every 5 images or so, I will stop and I'll just check the questions and I'll jump back on editing again. All right. Uh, we'll start in about 30 seconds here. Okay, hey guys, Jeremy here. We're gonna get started. Hang on one second. I got my coffee, my water. I think I'm good to go. Thanks for joining the webinar. So if you're new to Mastering Labs, it is a film emulation preset. In my opinion, is the best preset that you can get out there on the market right now. Nothing comes close to it, in my opinion. So if you haven't used it, I hope this webinar will help you decide if it's the right look for your brand, for your company. And I will start editing some photos. They're straight out of camera images right now. Haven't done anything to it. So I'll show you guys basically the entire process from start to finish. All right. And if you didn't catch earlier, in order for me to see what I'm doing, I have to minimize the entire screen. So which means I would not be able to see your questions. But I will stop probably every 5 images or so. Then that way I can answer some questions. All right, so we'll get started here. So give me 1 second. Let me just jump on it real quick right here. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Screen share, entire screen. Okay, it's gonna look a little weird right now. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so right now I'm gonna show you all the photos I have. You know what? I just want to make sure because I can't see the screen. Melanie, if you're watching this right now, if you could message me on Facebook, just let me know you guys can see the entire screen. I just want to make sure that it's working. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure it's working. Okay, cool. It is. Thank you, Melanie. All right, so what I want to do is I want to edit a whole bunch of different photos with the off-camera flash, with natural light, with backlit photos, with overcast days, and also I want to show basically a variety of lighting condition. And some of the photos, I'll even show you some photos where I screw up on, where I just way underexposed a photo. And I'll show you the difference that the difference will make when you apply the preset. So first thing first, when you're using the presets, it works the same as a film camera. So you have to get it right, or as close as possible, straight out of camera. And in that way, you can apply the preset. It's typically a 2-3 click edit if you shoot it correctly out of the camera. Kirk Maston posted something today in the group about how a lot of people are getting frustrated with the presets, but I think a lot of frustration actually comes from not shooting correctly out of the straight out of camera. So anyways, so here we go. So first I want to show you just a few photos. So let me see here, where am I gonna start? So we'll start easy. We'll start with the naturalized stuff that, stuff everybody likes. Um, this is a stylized shoot that I just did um, last Sunday. So I shot both film and digital. I'm obviously still waiting for film to come back. But this is the digital, one of the digital shots I got of the model. So there's nothing applied to this right now. This is straight out of camera, and I want to show you guys a couple of settings here that. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, go to my blog. Or just Google Master Preset user guide, and then my website should be the first one to pop up. There, I wrote a free PDF for everybody to download. So you'll talk about all the settings I have, how I minimize the amount of tweaking that I need after I import a photo. So first thing first. So right here, my ISO is usually just exactly what my film speed is. So this is ISO 200. 50 millimeters, my favorite portrait lens. I shoot exclusively with a 50 millimeter lens. It's a 51.2 lens, and I shoot at 1.6. Okay, so all I do is I'm pretty much just adjusting my shutter speed. So this is a white balance 6,000. So 6,000 is your on the Canon is the cloudy setting for the white balance. I don't know what it is on Nikon. I'm sorry, I shoot Canon. But on the Canon, it's 6,000. So there were a lot of questions. People ask if I do custom settings for my white balance. I do. It's usually always at 6,000. If we get into like a darker, shaded area, usually you got to bump that up to maybe 7,500 as a starting point. So I'm going to start editing this photo, and then this to me is exposed correctly. White balance is pretty much dialed in, so you will see how quickly the presets will work. So my go-to preset is the Pro 400H neutral right here. So I'm going to click, and then I'm going to do all hard, and I'm going to do medium format grain. So after the presets being applied, I can see this is a little cooler than what I would like, and it's got a little too much green tone to it. So after you apply the preset, you bump up the temperature. So this is just kind of what you like. So I bump the temperature a little bit, and tint, I bump that up just a tad more right there. And that's it. I am done. So I mean, if you really want to get technical, I mean, I can come in here. I can just kind of clone out her imperfection on her skin right here. Just do that real quick. So somebody asked if I do, what kind of retouching do I do? So this is as much retouching I do in Lightroom. I don't really bring it to Photoshop. So right here, I'm going to apply a medium format grain. Maybe let me try. Oh yeah, here we go. So I apply medium format grain and come back out. So one thing I forgot to do on this shoot is I usually crop it in camera, but I was shooting actually I was shooting something at my kids' school. So it's just a simple step and repeat photo. So I changed my setting back to normal, and I forgot to change it back. So I'm going to just crop it so you'll mimic a medium format. Right here. So again, I'm going to bump it up just a tad. That's it. That's as much as I would do with it. So as you can see, if the lighting is correct, exposure is correct, white balance is correct. So I ended up white balance about 6,400. Okay, you don't get the neon green that a lot of people are saying. It's a very natural looking. I mean, this one maybe I even go up just a tad on the warmth here, and that is pretty much it. So again, if the presets if the image is shot correctly in camera, it's literally, for me, it's about a 5-second editing. So I'm talking while I'm doing this. That's why it's a little slower. But so now here's the next one here. So it's the same lighting condition. As you can see, I'm very consistent with the way I shoot. Again, ISO 200, 50 millimeter, f1.6, white balance 6,000. So the reason why I do that is I can just grab this now, and I can just sync it, and that should give me a pretty close photo. So there you go. So right here, then I'm gonna crop it one more time because I forgot to set it in camera. If you guys go download my PDF, I talk about how I do that in camera. So so this one maybe, you know what, this one I'm not liking all hard on this one. It's making it a little too contrasty for my taste. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do all soft. Right here, just kind of even out a little bit. And again, it's a little too green for me. I'm gonna bump up the tint just a tad. Miss the white balance just a little bit. And here I'm gonna do a medium format grain. And that's it, I'm done. So again, this is as much editing as I'll do to a photo. And I'm gonna show you the before and after so you can see the difference. Okay, so you know, again, and I really cannot stress this enough. You have to shoot correctly out of the camera. Okay, so right here. So that's it. So I'm going to show you a few photos where I didn't do that. So this was towards the end of our shoot. You know, we're scrambling for time, and then, you know, I got a model at the right spot, but it's obviously underexposed for my taste. So so this one, so when that situation happens, what you have to do is you have to fix that first before you apply the preset. So, you know, I'm just gonna crop it first. So okay, so right here, it's a little dark, so I'm gonna bump it about maybe like half a stop or so. So right here, and then it's a little too cool, so I'm gonna bump up my white balance just a tad to about right there. So I'm gonna show you guys a before and after right here. So and the little green, because you know there's quite a bit of green cast, so I'm gonna put a tint just a little bit to kill that green cast. Okay, so this is before any preset has been applied. All right, so right here I'm gonna go back to my go-to Pro 400H, apply that, and I'm gonna go this one. Let's try all hard, see what that looks like. You know what? I don't quite like that. Let's go highlight soft. Let's try all hard. So right here, so I'm close to being finished now. So I'll go back and check the skin tone one more time. Still looks a little cool for me. So I'm gonna bump it just a tad more, and maybe just a little bit on exposure. So that's it. So there you go. So you know, if you don't if you find yourself with where the preset's doing funky thing to colors, it usually has to do with exposure. So even if even though I undershot it or underexposed it, I'm only bumping up less than one stop. So I've seen some photos in the group where it's up to like 2 stops under, and that will really change your color. Let's see, if you go to 2, let's just like bump it up to 2 stop. Okay, something like that. I mean, you can see that the green starts looking really weird. It actually looks that's that neon color that comes in because it's so green now. But if you bring that down to, you know, somewhere right, was a film shot. All right. So let me go back to the screen real and not gonna work. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, I undershot. So I underexposed this entire series right here. So if you're gonna underexpose, just be consistent with it. So it's at the end, it's really easy to sync up every photo, and then just apply the same preset over the same photos. I'm sorry, apply the same preset over a set of different photos and still get the same exact results. Okay, so I'm gonna do that one, and I'll sync all this right here. So okay, so right here, so you can see it's still a little too underexposed. So as you can see, the more you underexpose a photo, I guess the wonkier the photos, the color is gonna. I'm gonna put this two side by side. Okay. Uh, um, put side. So so my point is, I want to show you guys. I underexposed. I keep saying undershot. I underexposed the photo on the right. Okay, so as you can see, I apply same preset. I'm not getting the same colors at all. It's just the way I shot in camera. I pretty much shot it wrong in camera. So, again, the preset works fine. It's really just the way I shot it in camera. So for this one, honestly, you're gonna just see a lot of black and whites when it comes down to it. So this one, I'm gonna go to either Pan F or Delta 3200. See what that looks like. So I'm gonna go Pan F and crop it down just a little bit. There you go, black and white saves everything, makes it all artsy fartsy. So there you go. So I'm gonna do the last one over here with the natural light. So this is before and after. All right, so I underexposed it by almost one stop. So I'm gonna just warm it just a tad. Okay, and then I'm gonna apply right here. Let's try all hard. And it's already applied, I'm sorry. And go medium format grain. Just a tad more. There you go. So that is as much as I'll do with that one photo. And let's give the male model some love right here. I'm gonna edit that photo. So this one I severely underexposed it. So so I'm gonna bring it back up. So you see, I don't know if you can see on your screen, but so right now, look, I'm at 2 stops. Okay, I need to bring up 2 stops to what I like, because the color starts getting really weird around the edges. So this one, I need to bring up the magenta quite a bit to kill that green cast. And I can't bring it too much because then you start looking too magenta. So this is when everybody start having problem with the colors. Right here. That is probably as close as I'm gonna get. That's probably as good as I'm gonna get right there. Okay, so if you see green cast, if there's green cast over your photo, you're gonna try to bump up the tint. So again, if you're editing, you do exposure first, and then which is for me. So typically I'll do the exposure to where I want it to be, and then I'll do the white balance and the tint before I even apply the preset. Okay, so once the preset is applied, I'll go back and I'll edit. I'll change the settings one more time. Okay, a few more right here. This is oh, so this is good. So this is this is a film shot from the last workshop I had. This is from a Pentax 645 and 2, the 105 millimeter shot at f2.4 Fuji 400. So I did this in another video, but I just want to kind of quickly show you guys how to do it with the anchor image. Okay, so right here. So this shot right here, that's my anchor image. That is film, and this is digital. Okay, so you can see colors a little different. So this one, I'm gonna go and apply Fuji 400 and do all hard. You know what, that's still too contrasty. I'll go all soft, medium format grain, and I usually just zoom in right here, just kind of see this is a little warmer than that, so I'll bump up the temperature just a little bit right here. And that it's pretty close. So I think I overexposed it just a tad. So I want to bring the exposure down just a little bit. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So if I show this to the client side by side, most likely they're not going to be tell which is film, which is digital. So the point is, don't be too obsessed over the 100% accuracy between film and digital. If you really want the film look, go shoot film. This will get you as close to it, and your client will never be able to tell. All right. So that's it. That was literally a 3-second edit on that one. So this image got a lot of requests. I got quite a few people asking me how I did this, how I edited this. So I'm gonna do this real quick. So again, this is from the last workshop. This is straight out of camera with no editing, no presets applied. So this one, I underexposed it a little bit just because when you're shooting, anytime you're shooting a subject behind a window or something that glares, you have to underexpose it a tad just so you can keep all the details and all that. And you also have to find a way to um, hang on one second. I'm sorry, somebody's asking if the link is going. Okay, so again, I applied a preset right here. Okay, and then I want to go all hard and medium format grain. And that way, I'm just gonna bump up the exposure just a tad right here. And it's still a little too green for me. It's reflecting on the trees and leaves behind me while I shot this. So I'm bumped the tint just a tad. Maybe just a little bit of what temperature right there, and then that is it. So again, about I don't know, 3, 4 seconds. Right here. So all right, so I'm going to show you. So that's the naturalized stuff. Oh, maybe I'll just do one more. Okay. So somebody else asked me is how to get the correct skin tone, right? So this one I would consider kind of difficult to get the skin tone right because you have the sunlight coming from one side. Inside the room is actually got like a hint of pale yellow on the wall. So and she's tan, so the color on her skin, this will be considered a little orange for most people. So I'll show you a quick way how to do that. Okay, so again, first thing first is this. Before I even apply it for any preset, this is underexposed. So I'm gonna go in here and just bump up exposure just a tad right there. Yeah, right there. So okay, so here's the trick. All right, if you missed it on my last video, so this little button right here, that's how you control your white balance. Okay, so you see it's picking up different colors on the screen right here. Do you see all that? So it's saying pick a target neutral. So this is like your gray card. So if you had a gray card, you just point to a gray card and click on it and be done. So since I don't shoot with one, so I will usually use the bride's dress. And it's gonna sound weird, but I usually point it right under her breast area because it's got a shadow that's usually neutral gray if her dress is white. So okay, so I'm gonna click on that. See, right away it brought back the colors to a neutral white, neutral gray. Okay, so then after I do that, I'll go in and apply the preset. So preset, imagine something all soft because I'm losing a lot of details in her hair. Right there, and then I'll bump up the white balance just a tad, maybe just a little more. So okay, so right there. All right. So again, just to review, so you can use this little Doppler here, and you can just pick the white area on her. Yeah, you're not supposed to pick pure white. You're supposed to pick a neutral gray area. So again, my trick is right under the breast area where there's a little gray area right here. So that's where you pick. Once you pick that, it will give you a nice neutral gray to, and then you can bump up your white balance or lower it just to whatever you like. All right, so I think so naturalized pretty straightforward. As long as you get it right in the camera, it's actually really simple to do. This one's looking really green to me. So right there. So as long as you do it right in camera, it's very, very easy to do. So I'll do this last one for natural light. Then I'll jump to artificial lighting. So this one, exposure to me is right on. I didn't blow out the detail on her dress. You can still see all the folds on her dress. The only thing I blew out is here, a little higher. But there's nothing I can do about that. It's completely blown. I can't bring that back. So her face is perfectly exposed. So I'm going to apply neutral, and I'm going to do all soft. I'm going to try all hard. Yeah, let's do all hard. I like all hard right here. So this one actually a little too warm, I think. So yeah, so just a tad right there. Maybe just a bump of the tint, just a tad. And again, that's it. I'm done. This is what I would present to a client. This is what I would put on my blog. All right. Okay, so let's keep going to. I'm going to show you some off-camera lighting and flash and all that good stuff that people think fine art photographer or natural light photographers don't do, but we do it. It just things, it's for my brand. I choose not to blog a lot of off-camera flash, a lot of flash photos for my brand. So I try to show as much naturalized stuff I can. But it doesn't mean that we don't know how to do it. It just I choose not to show it. So a lot of people asking. Actually, this is another picture that a lot of people are asking some help on. Hang on, it's thinking. Give me a second. It's oh, that's weird. You won't let me go. Okay. All right. So this one, you can see it's inside a ballroom. It's it's a Mission Inn here, California. A huge 3-day Indian wedding I just did. So you can see everything's just really fancy. So they wanted a room shot, obviously. So this is kind of the clients want to see this. This is where they spend most of the money on. They want to be able to see it in all its glory. So here you go. So again, remember the trick is I'll find where the white area is on this. So usually the tablecloth and all that. So I'll go in. I'll just go pick. Let's see. Let's just pick wherever. See what that looks like. There you go. So as soon as you pick something that's white, so it brings everything back down to neutral gray. Depends on what that is. So let's look at the difference here. Okay, see the difference? So this, to me, I would use this as my starting point. Okay, this is for some people it might be okay, but for me it's a little too warm. Well, very warm for my taste. So I'll do the neutral gray trick, just get it down to this, and I'll start from here. Okay, so from here I'll just apply white balance, just bump it just a tad. I think exposure is right on. This one I did a long exposure. This was shot at f11. ISO 200 and a 5-second exposure. I shot it on the tripod. Shooting this, you have to think like a film photographer, okay? So with only fluorescent light, and there's no natural lights, not outdoors, a real film photographer is not going to shoot this with the Fuji 400, or he's not going to shoot it with Portra 400 or Portra 100. He's going to shoot this either a Portra 800 and a really long exposure, or you're going to shoot it for 3200 in black and white. Okay, so that's another thing. When you edit, you have to keep in mind, you have to think like a film shooter, and that's why we always recommend actually go out and shoot film. It will really help you see colors differently, and then help you get in a mindset of a film photographer. So all right, so for this one, I'm gonna go and apply the Portra 800 preset. So all right, so it's my 160, 400, 800. So 800, naturally it gets very warm and it gets very contrasty, but that's the look of that film stock. All right, so just learn to love it. So this one, I'm gonna go all hard. Again, you have to get that genuine film look, because that's pretty much what it would look like. So here I'll apply, because I shot it super clean at 200 ISO. So I'm gonna go back and then apply maybe 35mm grain on this one. So now I'm starting to blow out some details here on the wall. So I'm gonna bring down my exposure just a tad. Oh, too much. Yeah, something like the 1/3 of a stop. Okay, and again, that is it. I'll leave it right there. So that's before and after. So this is a long exposure with fluorescent light, and I applied Portra 800 all hard, and I lowered my exposure by about 1/3 of a stop, because I didn't want to blow out the details and all that. So all right, so indoor reception shot, that's what you do. There's a really cool film stock, is CineStill. I have not shot it, but as far as I'm told, that's the best to shoot. Kind of dying to get my hand on it. So anyway, so here you go. So here's another one. So here's another the same ballroom, and then so I'm just gonna kind of grab it, and you know what? This is not letting me for some reason. I may have to go grab it up just so Sorry, it's not letting me sync it for some reason. Either way, I'll just do this right here. So I'll do the same exact thing I just did. So right now I'm gonna go apply, I'm sorry, I'm gonna bump up exposure just a tad first. I'm gonna find the happy middle ground. So again, I know the tablecloth is white, so I picked somewhere the shadow right here that give me my neutral gray. So right here, I'm gonna do portrait 800 again. Oh, hard, medium format grain. I'll bring it down just a tad. Oh, actually, yeah, right there, just a tad. And here is the before and after. All right, so as you can see, I mean, Kirk's preset is just awesome. I mean, it still retains all the color, LED lighting. It retained all the colors that I would normally see if you were standing there. I mean, it definitely made those crazy or purple uplight disappear just a little bit, but it's still there. You can see all that. Okay. All right, so let me see here. So I'm gonna show you this shot right here. So this is the first day of the celebration. So first I'm gonna crop it just a little bit. For some reason, there's some button just not working on this. I don't know why. Here you go. All right, so I didn't like that guy's hand right there, so I'm just cropping just a little bit tighter. This is the bride, Maria. So right here, okay? So this is straight out of the camera, nothing applied. So when I shoot reception, I have an onboard camera, onboard flash, and I have an off-camera flash that's on a stick, as you can see right here. So this one had a smoke machine, that's why you see all this up here. So so again, going back to the right mindset for a photographer, for a film photographer, you will shoot this either portrait 800 or black and white, right? So if you want to maintain the color, so I'm gonna go portrait 800. And medium format grain, and just a little this is supposed to change some of the drama that's up here. So I'm gonna bring the exposure down just a tad right here. And there you go. As you can, I don't know if you notice, I have not touched my white balance. So when I have my flash on, I typically shoot it at the flash white balance setting that's on my camera. So it just stayed there. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what the actual there's. Let me see, flash. See if I know what did I shoot it at. Well, this one I shot at 6400. I don't think that's flash. So I think I checked it, and this is what I liked when I was shooting. So again, I'll shoot before and after. So that is it. All right. So now let's go to the next one. So this one is an onboard on-camera flash with no off-camera flash. So I think I'll like the shutter on this one. Dragging the shutter means I lower my shutter down to 1/30th of a second, just get some of those movement in the light behind them, and then with my flash, I still froze my subject, so they're still perfectly sharp. Okay, all right, so same thing, I'm going to apply for portrait 800. Oh, hard, medium format. I'm just lower that just a little bit to maintain some of the lighting right there, and then maybe just a little too warm. And right there, that's it. So I'm gonna just apply a black and white preset so you guys see what it looks like. So we'll do a Delta 3200. That is what what you can shoot at. Typically you want to shoot about 1600, but I think you can push it to 3200. So there you go. So when you want to do black and white, that's one I would use. So again, getting the same mindset as a film shooter. A film shooter would never shoot a night reception, with the Pan F that's like I think it's a 100 ISO or something, because it's just not gonna work. So don't apply different presets that doesn't apply to a real life situation if you were truly shooting just film. Okay. Let me do. So here's another one. Same thing, off camera flash. In the back onboard camera. I think I bounced this one off. I want to say I bounced this one off the ceiling. I don't quite remember, but I think that's what I did. So again, if you want to do black and white, here's what black and white would look like. If you don't want to do black and white, you go down to Portrait 800 again. Oh, hard, medium format grain. You might have just bring down just a tad so it doesn't look too blown out. So right here, so I'll just get a little closer so you guys can actually see what the grain structure looks like and all that stuff. It's not letting me. Oh, here we go. So that guy's very excited. So all right, so let's get back out here. Come back out. All right. Well, it's not letting me anymore. Anyways, oh, here we go. All right, so that is so that's the outdoor and indoor. So right now I showed you off-camera flash. I showed you onboard flash with no off-camera, and then this is long exposure for reception room. That's typically what I do, and then so I'll do this one too. So again, Portrait 800, oh hard, medium format grain. This one I might go shadow soft because I'm starting losing a lot of details right here because he's wearing black. So I'm gonna do shadow soft. So bring back some of the, see right there, he brought back all the details on his clothes. So this one I might just crop in just a little bit tighter, just so because I mean that's kind of where the story is. So yeah, so there you go. All right, so this is same thing. I'll just finish doing this. So this will be the same treatment again. It'll be Portrait 800, oh hard, medium format grain. This is a little too warm for me, so I'm gonna turn that down just a tad and just right there, just a little bit. So there you go, and that's it. All right. Okay, let's do this one. So we're back to outside, back to natural light. I'm gonna do Fuji 400 neutral right here. I'm gonna do all soft because I want to see some of the details in the back, in the doorway over here. Medium format grain. So film has a really awesome dynamic range, which means you will see from the shadows all the way to the highlights. So I think all soft is a very good way to mimic that look. So I use all soft quite a bit, especially Fuji, because I'm going for that kind of soft and airy look. And I found that with the right lighting, all soft, it looks exactly like film. Okay, so right here I'll do a medium format grain. And that didn't do anything, but sorry, it's kind of slow, but there you go. So all right, I think that it's about it with all the photos I want to show you guys. Let's see here. So underexposed. Okay, yeah. So I underexposed it a little bit and quite a bit. So I bumped it up by let's bump it just a little bit. So if you're shooting a bride, you don't want to lose all the details in the dress. So I want to still see the folds. That's kind of where I know if it's overexposed. Or another way you could look at histogram, but I really don't look at it. I just kind of look at it right here. As long as I can see the folds, I'm okay. So this one I'll do all soft, and I'll do medium format grain. So it's kind of funky color right now, but again, it all happened because I underexposed it to start with. So this one, I'll probably do either black and white, or just get as close as I can and just call it a day. Not really gonna be obsessed over it. You can turn to black and white. So this one, let's see what it looks like in black and white. Pan F, all soft. I should put back exposure a little bit. So there you go. All right. We'll bring it back up to here. Okay. So yeah, so that is pretty much all the editing that I want to show you guys. I'll post the before and after photos in the groups page. I'm gonna get on Facebook right now. If you guys have any questions, log on the Facebook page where the event pages, and I'll start answering some questions there while I'm still on. Here we go, and I'll start a thread right there. Okay, so so all right, so I just posted something on Facebook in the events page. If you want to get on there and just kind of take a look, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll respond to here. And I'm also gonna just go back and kind of look at. I'll talk about what other people have asked. Hang on 1 second. Where is it? Oh, here. All right, so it's about 40 questions here. Okay, so Iris, you want to know how to achieve the perfect skin tones. So again, the perfect skin tone, it really starts with the right lighting and the white balance. That's kind of the biggest thing to get the right skin tone. It's not, again, we can't stress this enough, but the preset is not like a magic preset where one click everything's done. You will still have to adjust exposure, white balance, and tint. You have to do that to almost every single photo. Even if you shoot in film, they still have to edit. I think a lot of people think you don't edit for film, but it's either you're doing the editing or the lab is doing the editing, but somebody's doing the editing. I'm most curious about the correct white balance. Nicole Spengler, I'm most curious about the current white balance. If I'm shooting outdoors, it's 6,000. That's kind of what I shoot. Okay, and all this is covered on the guide that I have. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go back to where my original thread. So Ricky Ebel, I think. Jeremy, do you use different types of presets throughout a wedding day? For example, food. Exactly. I use different types of presets. Again, you have to get into regular, just the mindset of a real film photographer. They shoot different film stock. Just depends on what they're shooting. For example, I shoot mostly Asian clients. If you shoot a portrait, in my experience, if you shoot a portrait 800 on an Asian client, Asian skin, it tends to get really orange. So that's why I shoot Fuji most of the time. And in the indoor, you're just not gonna shoot Fuji 400 rated at 100 ISO and shoot indoor. You're just not gonna do that. That's why you apply the Kodak Portrait 800 for indoors. Okay. Leanne Weiss, I shoot the 5D Mark III, and I just got rid of my contacts. I shoot the Pentax 645 now, 645 N2. Lisa wants to know, what are you calibrating the images at all? It's Adobe standard, yes. Yvonne, do you just use Kodak Portrait for on-camera and off-camera flash photos? Yes. Like I just explained earlier, if you apply Portrait 800 on Asian skin, it looks really orange. So I try not to do that. Actually, any ethnic skin, I think with Portrait 800, it tends to look very. So Don Downey, how do you approach editing darker skin tones? That's a good question. I just shot a wedding in Savannah. The groom's black, the bride's Indian. So it's like dark skin and darker skin. So I used a lot of all soft, just kind of bring out the details in the skin, but also bring back the highlight into the dress so that everything's kind of evened out. So I guess my approach would be just use all soft as much as you can. Jesse Barksdale, how do you set your white balance in camera? It's covered in my user guide, but when I'm outside shooting in daylight, it's 6,000 all the time. That does not change. So I'm very consistent. So my white balance is 6,000. My aperture is at 1.6. I shoot with a 50mm lens, and I don't change. That's the way I shoot. That's how you get consistent result every single time. Okay, I'm going to just answer a couple more questions here. Let me see here. All right, so let's go back to some more questions here. Sorry, guys, there's just so many questions. I'm trying to look at the one that I didn't cover already. Okay, how are the couples you shoot in focus when you shoot wide open? So I don't shoot wide open in the sense I don't shoot 1.2, I shoot 1.6. And the further away you're from the client, the further away you're from your subjects, the more depth of field that you have, even though you're shooting wide, even if you're shooting close to wide open. So if you look at my photos, my couples are actually in the same plane most of the time. Their faces are actually in the same plane. It's their bodies are not, but their faces are in the same plane, and that's how I maintain uh, uh, how I maintain focus even with two subjects in my picture. I have shot an entire group of family photos at 1.6. As long as everybody's in the same plane, you will be fine. And give yourself some room. If you can do that, back up maybe like 10 feet, 15 feet or so, that will give you some room. Okay. Nicholas Winger, do you ever feel the need to retouch skin? Yeah, I just talked about that. I do it in Photoshop. I do it in Lightroom, and it's very rarely that I'll take it out into Photoshop to do it. And I usually just do liquify in Photoshop. Um, oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. I forgot. I couldn't find a photo. Oh, so Ashley Edwards wants to know how to edit images that are taken in direct sun. Um, I tried to find one, but I don't shoot in direct sun, so I couldn't get you one. If I find one, I'll post it in the group. I'm sorry about that. Um, Rebecca Rebecca wants to know. Uh, I love the soft pastel greens I see people achieving, but mine always look bright and sometimes neon. So okay, so as you see in what I just did, it has to do with the exposure and the white balance that you set in your camera. Okay, that's set correctly, you're highly unlikely to get neon green. I don't get neon green in my shots. You can with the preset you cannot overexpose. Okay, and again, this is all covered in the user guide. The most you should overexpose according to your in-camera meter if you shoot in digital is 2/3 of a stop. You should not go any more than that when you apply the preset. Um, okay. Okay. So this is a newbie question. How can you fix color cast? So Daniela Laura, how can we fix color cast on faces when editing? Um, Depends on what kind of color cast it is. If it's green, bump up the magenta. That should fix it. Yeah, I would need to see what picture you're talking about. So Rachel Ashcraft, my biggest struggle is how to get the magenta out of skin tones without making things look too green. Honestly, you have to train your eyes to see colors differently. There's some film, it's gonna look green. I'll post some examples later in the group. It's gonna look green if you use Fuji. So if you don't want a green tone, apply Portrait. And you can also adjust the magenta slider left or right. If it's too green, slide a magenta or a tint to the right. If it's too magenta, slide it back to the left. Okay, Rachel, you just give me some real examples now. I can edit some for you. Okay. Brent wants to know how to make East Coast light look like California light. You moved to California. There you go. Okay, let me just keep going down. Let me see here. People have other questions. Okay. All right. I'll Joy Langston wants to know how do I save my images for web, FB, and for Facebook and blog. I'll do that later. I'm sorry, I can't stay on the whole thing. I think the reason why you only voice is because you're late, buddy. We just finished. Patrick wants to know how do you achieve proper exposure. I don't use a light meter when I'm shooting. I don't use the light meter when I'm shooting digital. Okay, that is only when I am. I only use the light meter when I am shooting film. You know what? I'm gonna put my face on here because I think people think like the webcast is over. So I'm sorry if I scared little children. Hello, hello. Okay. So Kelly Moore wants to know, do you ever turn lens correction on? It's part of the preset. So if you apply the preset, it's on. So, but yes, I do leave it on. I don't turn it off. Angelica Chang, do you edit with mastering with your film shots? That's a very good question. So I get all my films scanned exclusively with Fine Lab. I started to get just basic scan back, so I'm editing my own film photos now. I don't use master and preset because I don't want to change the color too much. When I'm editing my own film shots, is again it's pretty much exposure, white balance, and tint, and that's it. Okay. Um, Joy, yeah, I hope I didn't scare you. Okay, Brianna, do you have an accidental overexposure shot you can fix for us? You know what, I have to dig into it to find it, but I can show you, Brianna. Just make sure you ask me tag me in a question in the group so I remember to do that. I do, I do screw up once in a while, and then when I do, it's bad. So I'm sure I can dig up something. Um, let me see here. Let me see what else. What other questions that we have? Okay, Kelly Manian, how do you export and organize your images so that when you deliver to your clients, your film and digital images are in order? So what I do is I separate my images into different folders. So I have a folder for getting ready, one for the portraits, one for details, reception, ceremony, whatever. They're all in different folders. So my film photos is part of that. So I basically I will organize my film photos and then insert it into my digital. So I don't create a separate folder and then say, here, look at the film photos here, because you shouldn't be able to tell the difference between film and digital. So that's why I don't separate it out like that. Shooting film is not one of those things I sell to my clients. It's just what I do. There are weddings I don't shoot film at all. It just depends on what kind of wedding, what kind of lighting condition I have. If it's not ideal, I don't shoot weddings. It's $2 a click. It's too expensive. All right, and let's just got a few more questions here, and we'll wrap it up. We're at right around 10. So Stephanie, Christine, I have difficulty having master and presets work all the time. I typically shoot in custom white balance and underexposed slightly. Do you find that to be best to get your edits to match, or should you try something else? I'm going to start hybrid shooting this fall. So look at it. So again, everybody, if you haven't already, download the user guide on my website. I'll post the link in the group. The user guide will tell you how to do it, and then basically will tell you how to get it correctly in camera, as close as possible, as close to final as possible, as close to final as possible. So it's less work once you're done editing. Once you're done importing the photos. Let me see here. Do I choose? So Andre Pennycook? I'm sorry. Jeremy, when do you choose 35mm grain versus medium format grain? Just wondering. So I generally use the medium format grain all the time. I very rarely use 35mm grain. The only time I use 35mm grain is like for this, for example, the portrait 800 shots. That's I know it's going to be indoor, long exposure. It's going to be more grainy, so I'll apply that to have a more authentic look. But generally speaking, it's medium format grain for me all the time. Okay. Someone just screen captured me. Awesome. Ooh, Joey, what was your question, Joey? Hold on. What's your question? Let me look back. How do you save your images for web? Okay. So for Facebook, it's 900 wide. Wait, 900 on the long side. At 150, 900 on the long side, 150 DPI I want to export to blog to Facebook. For blogging, it really depends on your blog size. Every blog has different dimensions. So for blogging, I'm at 1,000 wide, and whatever the length is. So 1,000 wide at 150 DPI. So that's pretty much what I do when I do a Facebook export and blogging. Okay. Dan Newen wants to know, for reception, do you shoot with custom white balance, Kelvin or auto? I shoot custom white balance all day. I don't really put it on auto ever at all. So a videographer once taught me, if you have mixed lighting, keep your white balance at 5200. That's kind of like the baseline where everything will kind of work. So if you're not sure, just put it at 5200. It'll be fine for the reception, and that'll get you pretty close. Okay. Sherry Holloway, yes, film is cool again. Yeah. um, okay, so dear, I can't say that name. I'm sorry. So somebody asked, can you explain how to expose for shadows? All it means when you expose shadows is that you're still able to see the details in the shadows. That's all it means. So when I 1 meter in camera, I'll check with the LCD, just kind of make sure I can still see all the details. For example, like Asians with the black hair, you still want to see different, strains and all. You don't want to see just like a really muddy black, and you can't really bring that back. So that's what you mean by exposure shadows. I use spot metering in camera, one shoot digital spot metering, and I'll usually meter like right here, right under the chin, right here, and that'll give my baseline. Okay, let me see here. All right, guys, 5 more minutes, we'll wrap it up. I'll continue to answer questions in the group. I just want to bore everybody to tears. Um, Daphne, do you save the images? I save as JPEG. TIFF is too big, too big, and PNG I don't ever save in PNG, so I save in JPEG. Yeah, Patrick. Yes, 900 wide for Facebook. So I don't post full resolution photos to Facebook because I want my client. I don't want them to be able to download full resolution photos anywhere. So 900 it's big enough for them to see, but not too big for them to be able to go on and print. Like a 8x11, for example. I think 900 wide, 150 DPI, they probably can get up to like 3x5. That's about it. Mason Schroeder, how concerned am I with sharpness with shooting at 1.6? Well, I like the soft focus, so it's not super concerned. I mean, I've been shooting 1.6 for about 5 years, 4 years now, so I kind of really got used to it. So here, I'll show you. You know what, guys? Let's do this. That's a good time to jump back into that. So if you're tired of seeing my face, let's jump back to my screen here, and I'll show you what looks like a 1.6. Okay. So hang on so let's go back. You should be able to see my screen right now. So, all right. So this, I want to show you guys, that's 1.6. Okay. Oh, sorry. Over here. So it's 1.6. All right. So I want you guys to see how sharp that can get. So it's not letting me getting tighter. I don't know why. Okay. So, all right. So here we go. So it's getting tighter. Okay. So that's 4 to 1. That's a little too big. But back up just a little bit, back up just a little bit. Okay. So this is shot at 1.6. Okay. Is it perfectly, tack sharp? No, but when you shoot film, it's never gonna be tack sharp. And obviously for a client to be able to see at this detail, this picture, we're talking about 40 by 30 inches wide. Most likely they're not gonna see it that big. So if you come out right here, again 1.6 right there, perfectly fine. Okay, it will take it takes practice, so I won't shoot another one. So this is also 1.6. Well, actually, I only shoot 1.6. So go back one more. Okay, right here 1.6. Okay, so I had the focus nailed on her eye right here. I can zoom in just a little bit more to show you guys. All right, so that's a 1.6. So I focused directly on her eye right here. Okay, so hopefully that answered your sharpness question. So all right, so let me go back to the questions here. All right, just 2 more minutes, then we'll call it quits. Okay, somebody else got questions for me? Oh my God, Joey. That's hilarious. Okay, well, Rebecca, thank you. And let me see here. Who else has questions? All right, just keep going here. And Angelica, so I meter for shadows for digital. Yes. So there's well, no, let me back up. So there's a saying. So when you shoot, I might have it backwards. When you shoot digital, no, you meter for shadows, you print for highlights. Yeah, there you go. So when you meter for the shadows. So you don't want that to be too black, too muddy, so you can't see detail. But when you print, you don't want to blow the highlight. So you kind of have to find the happy medium. And again, people like Elizabeth Messina, they overexpose the crap out of it, and it looks great. So you just kind of have to find a style that you like and stick with it. Okay. Jocelyn, you said you always shoot at 1.6. Yes, yeah, I don't. I should clarify. I always shoot 1.6 for portraits. When I'm outdoor, pretty light. I shoot all the details at 1.6 as well. But indoor, once I go to reception, I shoot at f4 with the flash. Yeah, so for family photos, I shoot at f4 all the time. But for portraits, details, basically all the pretty stuff you see on the blog, that's all done 1.6. Okay, let me see if anybody has any other questions. All right, I think it's slowing down a little bit. I think we lost a lot of people. All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming, for watching the webinar. Hopefully you guys found it useful. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to just post it in the group, in the Master Labs user group, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. All right, so thank you guys, and then have a good night. In California, have a good night, you guys.